Swami's birthday had been celebrated in a very grand manner that year 1978, which was Swami's 53rd birthday. In those days, it was almost like a tradition that Swami would go to Patti a few days before any function. The function, we would join Swami for the function, and immediately after that, in a couple of days or 3 days at the most, Swami would return to Brindavan. In fact, at the end of the trip, before we got into the buses, Swami would call us for interview into the prayer hall and talk to us and give us namaskar and spend some time with us. So this year too it had happened that Swami came back to Brindavan immediately after the birthday festival. Around 25th, 26th, Swami came back to Brindavan, and Swami's birthday had been celebrated in an atmosphere surcharged with devotion amidst tens of thousands of people the previous week. But we prayed to Swami that the birthday celebration should be celebrated in Brindavan hostel, and Swami agreed to celebrate the birthday on the Thursday after that. That was on the 30th of November, just 1 week after the birthday, with his little children in Brindavan, and giving them the thrill, joy and pleasure of celebrating his advent in an intimate manner. See, there we had been part of the sea. It was a huge ocean of devotion, and here we had Swami all to ourselves. So when Swami agreed to this prayer of ours to come to the hostel and allow us to celebrate his birthday in his presence, we were all very, very excited. Boys were busy throughout decorating the dining hall, cutting vegetables, frying puris, and decorating the whole place with festoons and with a path in which flower petals had been strewn. Some of us, of course, had to perforce attend college to ensure that the classes too went on without interruption. Some boys were busy putting rangoli, and some others the flower carpet to welcome Swami. In the evening, after returning to the bungalow following darshan, Swami came to the hostel. We were ready at the entrance to receive him, chanting Rudram. Swami came at 5:45 p.m. After leading Swami to the dining hall chanting Vedam, we were rewarded with a Pad Namaskar. The warden spoke at Swami's command. He articulated beautifully our feeling of gratitude for this wonderful gesture on the part of the Lord. Swami then gave his discourse. He explained the word avatarana. He said, God comes down as man. Avatarinchuta anatamalo attamemi. What is the meaning when you say God comes down on earth? Janulapai Preeti Vatsalya Paratatoda. Because of his Preeti, his Vatsalyam, his compassion on the people, he comes down on earth. Jiva Prajnato Bhatuga Daiva Prajna. He combines in him, as he comes down with a form, both the individual consciousness and the universal consciousness. So Swami explained that when the unlimited takes a human form, he puts on the limitations that suitable to this form. Of course, any moment he can break out of this because he is the fully free, and we have seen Swami going on trance whenever he wanted to. So in a sense, the ocean is poured into this form called the avatar, the human body. And he explained the meaning of the word avatarana with a number of examples. Then he spoke about the Saptapuris, Ayodhya, Mathura Maya, Kashi, Avantika, Dwarakapuri, and Badrinath. He spoke mainly on Avanti, about King Chandrasena, about the Mahakala temple at Ujjaini, and the ideal rule of the King Chandrasena. He told us this to emphasize that the Lord always go to the rescue of those who are innocent and depend solely on Him with complete faith. Swami spoke of his desire to teach lessons to the elders to the youth. He said, "It is hence that I am giving you chances in such abundance. I want all of you to become role models." He said that though there were students who worked hard, there were some who were wasting their time and they needed to pull up their socks. All flowers that blossom do not bear fruit. It's only a chosen few that do. In fact, the question had been posed in the Shirdi avatar by one devotee. Baba, do all those who come to you get self-realization? And Baba pointed to a mango tree and he said, "Look, there are so many blossoms on that tree. How nice it would be if all of them bear fruit. But does it happen? It doesn't happen. A few of them fall off right at the beginning. Then a few of them, as they are growing, they fall off. Or monkeys pluck and eat. And it is only a few ultimately which become fruit." That is what Swami was saying here also. Some move away from God to satisfy their worldly desires. And some move away because they want to follow their ego and do not want to transform themselves. As Swami was telling, I don't want your devotion, I want your transformation. Swami is very particular that our devotion should be combined with transformation. Devotion alone is not enough. He wants us to progress from where we are and not allow any status quo to come in the way of our spiritual progress. Swami ended his discourse with Bhajan Bina. We then had a sumptuous dinner. Swami himself went round distributing sweets to all of us. It took about half an hour, but he did this very patiently. We then had prayer. Once Swami ate the first morsel. In fact, this was the very interesting tradition that all of us would wait till Swami started eating, and Swami would keep on signaling to us to start, but we would not start till Swami had taken the first morsel. Once Swami partook of the first morsel, we all ate our food. After our food, we had a film show. Mr. Dick Bog had produced a film on Did Christ Live in India? This went on for more than an hour and a half. At 10:15 p.m., the film show got over, and after Aarti, Swami left the hostel. We accompanied Swami till the bungalow and returned fully blissful and filled with joy. Swami had spent 4.5 hours satisfying our sense of touch with namaskar, our sense of hearing with discourse, our sense of taste with a dinner, and our sense of sight with his beautiful form. We had Swami all to ourselves, just the 300 of us, while just a week back there were tens of thousands craning their necks to even catch a glimpse of him in Prasanthi Nilayam. How blessed is this life to be alive at such a time. On the 8th of December 1978, this happened to be a Friday. In those days, we had some lecturers coming from the Indian Institute of Science and teaching us science. And so the final year students. We were only 9 of us, and one student, due to ill health, he had to go back home, and therefore there were only 8 of us in the class. For us, they would come on Sundays and Saturdays and take class. So we would have class the whole day. So officially, Wednesdays and Fridays there would be no class. Officially, which meant that we could go and stand in front of the mandir, and we had Swami all to ourselves, only the 8 of us. So this is what happened on that day. So we could go, and we didn't mind having class on Saturdays, Sundays, because Swami was available fully to us on Wednesdays and Fridays. Swami came down around 9:15 a.m. As he was about to go and give darshan to devotees, it started raining. I ran inside the mandir to get hold of a pair of slippers. Just when Swami stepped on a puddle of water, I dashed forward saying, "Swami, please wear these slippers." He did not wear it as he was going for darshan. In fact, incident comes to my mind which happened a couple of years before this. It was on hot summer in Brindavan, and there was around, it must have been around 10:30 or 11 in the morning. Swami had finished his darshan and gone inside, and a group of villagers had come from some place in, I think, Punjab or Haryana, and they were not very well to do. We could make out from the bus itself. The bus itself was dilapidated, and somehow they had come on a South India pilgrimage tour. And the person who arranged the tour had told them that Sai Baba is there in Bangalore. Shall we go to have darshan? And so they all had come. They had no darshan, no idea of what time the darshan was. And so when they came, it was already very late, and it was quite a hot day. And even as the Sevadal people were trying to tell them that Swami would come only in the evening, we could see the disappointment on their face, because they were on this tour which was organized and they had paid for it. They could not tarry in any place for longer than the tour operator would permit. And he had arranged a number of other places, and the schedule would be disturbed. So he was insisting that they should get into the bus and they would go. But they were all very reluctant, having come there. They were sitting there, and one could see that they were very sad that they could not have Swami's darshan. Even as the Sevadal people were explaining to them, I was near the bungalow when I suddenly saw Swami coming out of the bungalow. He came out of the gate, and one glimpse at him, and all the villagers were ecstatic. And Swami started walking. It was very hot, so I ran inside the bungalow and brought Swami slippers. And as Swami was walking, I just quickly went forward to put the slippers. Swami said, "Oddu." And he told it quite terse. So I thought something had gone wrong, so I quietly withdrew to the side. Swami went there, and he looked at all these villagers. I don't know who was more happy, whether it was the villagers or Swami, because they had tears in their eyes. They had been blessed with this darshan. But Swami was not satisfied. He went round all of them and spoke to them, asked a few questions from some people. Then he sent the Sevadal person to go and get sweets. And that Sevadal person brought some sweets, and Swami asked him to distribute. Then again Swami sent him to get some calendars, and those calendars were distributed. Again Swami sent him to get a basket of vibhuti, which of course Swami himself personally distributed. And when Swami left the Om Sri Sai Ram shed and he was coming towards the mandir, the villagers all had tears in their eyes. They were so thrilled that Swami had come out. See, again, it was that not only had Swami given them darshan, he had given them exclusive darshan, and he had come out solely to give them darshan. The compassion of Swami moved them to tears. And I was standing near the present Kalyan Mandap, what was then the college. And Swami was walking with his, looking at the ground. And suddenly when he looked up, he saw me nearby and he called me and he said, Bangaru, so many people are there without slippers. And that is why I told you I don't want the slippers. I mean, in that explanation, Swami had seen that I was worried if something had gone wrong. Swami wanted to convey to me nothing had gone wrong. But at that time, his focus was fully on those poor devotees who had come all the way. Their hunger for him, that was that was what he was focused on. And he went rushing to them, as they say, as a mother cow goes, to the calf with so much of vatsalyam, with so much of compassion. That is Swami. For him, to live is to love. All the time, he's showering love on all those who come to him. We will continue in the next Parayanam session.